Have you ever had someone you had met 1,000 times before not remember your name? Feel your blood boiling a bit? Or how about the warmth you felt that time someone remembered your name after only a brief initial encounter? As a rule, we like people who are quick to remember our names, which could make the use of someone's name a potentially powerful persuasion tool. Hi, thanks for tuning in to The Persuasive Lawyer. I'm Brendan Lupetin, a medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer, obsessed with the power of persuasion and the surprising science behind what influences us. Please consider subscribing below to get updates and new videos. And if I did a good job, please consider hitting the like button. In one study that demonstrates the power of people's names, experimenters sought to answer the question: if someone meets us just once, then later can recall and use our name while making some requests of us, does that mean there's an increased chance that we will fulfill their request? This interesting experiment occurred in the setting of a college class, where on the first day the professor asked each student to introduce themselves to the group by name. The following day, the professor sought out the students on campus and asked them to participate in a study he was conducting. What he wanted was for the students to fill in and return a questionnaire as quickly as possible. In half of the cases, the professor addressed the students by their name. In the other half, the professor acknowledged the participants as a student in the class, but indicated he couldn't remember their name. The students were asked to write down the exact time which they began and finished filling in the questionnaire. The professor stressed a time constraint and asked the students to return questionnaires as soon as possible. The researchers were focused on the difference in response time, if any, between those students whose names had been used versus those whose names had not been. The experiment's results revealed that students whom the professor had addressed by name began filling out the questionnaires more quickly and brought it to his office a shorter time after compared to those students whose name he had not remembered. Resultantly, the researchers found that the use of the participants' names significantly increased the rate of compliance with the request, which in this case was: get this questionnaire back to me as fast as possible. The takeaway for lawyers is to look for the earliest opportunity to say the name of the person you are trying to persuade.
Now, say my name.
Let me give you 3 scenarios where lawyers should look to speak the other person's name in particular. First, when you're picking a jury, though it may seem a bit awkward, address individual jurors by their names if possible.
Heisenberg. You're goddamn right.
For that matter, write down the names of all the court staff and refer to everyone by their first name. When you're addressing a judge, don't just use the generic judge or your honor, but instead look for ways to reference their names specifically. For example, good morning, Judge Smith, may it please the court. And when you are meeting a new client, make sure you state their name as early and often as possible. This will make them feel more comfortable and naturally like you more. Being mindful to speak people's names may not seem like an earth-shattering persuasion technique, but it's low-hanging fruit that works. Make it a habit, and you will become more influential. It's that simple. I'm Brendan Lupetin. Thanks for watching The Persuasive Lawyer.